Hi Capricorn, this is your horoscope for April 2017. Thanks for joining me. On the 3rd of April through until the 22nd of April, the Sun is in Aries and conjuncts Uranus, which is also in Aries, and both of those are in your 4th house of family. So a conjunction is when two planets blend their energy together, and you're going to be really headstrong and really certain of your own case when it comes to your family relationships. Okay, so you're really going to be a bit of a pain here, and you're going to always be right, and anyone else's perception and point of view is going to be incorrect, and you're not in a place where you can have reasonable discussions or where you can decide things fairly, because you're very focused on getting your needs met, and you're totally disinterested in other people's needs, and you're being somewhat inconsiderate. That is opposed by Jupiter in your 10th, which means the biggest luck factor here is, in terms of relationships, is career and work. And if you want to focus on something, then it's much better to throw yourself into work in April than it is to resolve long-standing family disputes, because you're not the person to mediate at the moment. On the 5th of April until the 25th of August, Saturn goes retrograde. Saturn is the head teacher of the astrology chart. He kind of makes you set your life exams, and he shows you what your life is, and he holds you accountable and responsible, and he kind of guides you in the right direction. Sometimes it feels harsh and brutal, sometimes it's gentle and easy. When Saturn goes retrograde, it is less harsh, it is gentle, and it allows you to review the decisions that you've already made in your life, and it allows you to review the structures that you have in your life, which are a result of the decisions. So deciding to become an engineer will mean that you are then in an engineering firm. Okay, so you'll be able to look at what you've done in the past, whether it's painful or joyous, it doesn't really matter. Saturn retrograde will support you in looking at these things and asking yourself, do I want to keep these structures in place, or do I want to make changes? If I'm happy and everything's wonderful, then that's great. But if not everything is wonderful and you do want to make changes, Saturn will allow you to gradually and slowly implement certain things and to take certain actions which will get you to this new place without going into panic mode about it. On the 9th of April, Mercury goes retrograde. Mercury is the communication planet. And when that goes retrograde, communication becomes more difficult, and there's more room for misunderstandings, things going wrong. This occurs for you in your 5th house of romantic relationships. So again, family relationships, you're a little bit focused on the self. There's room for misunderstandings when it comes to your romantic relationships. Again, it's not an ideal time here for you in terms of your personal life, but what really is supported is your career, your work, and really making plans for the future. So don't despair if not everyone is throwing you a parade every other day because you're so wonderful, okay? It would be abnormal this month if that were to happen, because you're supposed to focus on yourself and your work and what you're building, rather than thinking of this as a popularity contest, okay? So don't be too upset if you don't get on with everybody here at the beginning of April. On the 11th of April, we've got the full moon in Libra, and this is another excellent day for you in terms of your career. I will make a separate video on the full moon and the new moon just to go into a lot more detail. But as far as you're concerned, Capricorn, this is a real blessing when it comes to your working life. So a promotion, more money, a lateral move, anything positive when it comes to career. On the 15th of April, Venus, the planet of love and beauty and romance, goes direct. So we can all relax, because this has been in retrograde since the 4th of March, and now it goes direct. That immediately is going to bring some balance to your relationships. Venus is love and relationships and beauty and how we love things and people. If that's in retrograde, it's not as effective as it usually would be. So the fact that your relationships have been somewhat challenging lately isn't all your fault. It's because other people have been affected by Venus retrograde as well. So now from the 15th onwards, that gets much easier. On the 20th of April, through all the way until the 28th of September, Pluto, the most outer of the outer planets, that goes retrograde. Now, Pluto is about transformation and change. It's like the phoenix rising from the ashes. It happens in your first house of self, in your sign of Capricorn. So this is major inner enlightenment, illumination, understanding of who you are as a person. If you think of this in terms of the tarot, this is the Hermit. And it's so interesting that, that's why I love this, because it's so interesting how at the beginning of the month you were working on yourself, your decisions and your work, and now here with Pluto going retrograde, it is about becoming this individual and coming into your own and being a hermit for a little bit and not going to every party, but just saying, what is it that I believe in? What are my core values? What is the work that's going to make me feel fulfilled? And what steps can I take to achieve that? So this is a long-term process here from the 20th of April all the way until the end of September that's really going to help you come into your own. The penny drops. Capricorn understands itself. On the 26th of April, the new moon happens, and this is a really, really, really early or really late kind of birthday gift for you, Capricorn, because the new moon pulls energy in. And it pulls in Taurus energy, which is ruled by Venus, planet of love and beauty, and it pulls that into your 5th house of romance and love. So the end of the month is really good now for you in terms of your love life and in terms of romantic relationships. So it's not just specifically on that day. The 25th, 26th, and 27th of April, look at those as the best day in terms of your love life, in terms of romance in this month. And it's a kind of a payoff for all the work that you've been doing earlier in the month and all the questioning that you've been doing. So that's what I get for you in April. If you would like a private reading with me, I can draw up your birth chart by looking at your place of birth, date of birth, time of birth. I can then put these transits around your birth chart and see how these things are going to affect you specifically as an individual. If you'd like a private reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab to order your reading. Please remember to subscribe to this channel, and I'll speak to you next month.